Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Dadas Show, coming to you from KBC Studios. I'm your host, Ashikumbune. Now, as our name suggests, the Dadas Show aspires to promote the spirit of sisterhood and solidarity amongst Kenyan women. And we do this by creating an open and safe platform for women to discuss issues pertaining to their health and lifestyle, their well-being, their work, their careers, their family, and anything that affects them in one way or another. We also take time to acknowledge and celebrate people or individuals or organizations that are doing it big, not only for themselves, but for their communities at large. Early Childhood Care and Education, ECCE, covers a period between 0 to 8 years. This is a very crucial care that is offered to children because it happens when there's significant brain development. Quality ECCE provides an individual reproductivity throughout their lives. Now, despite this and many other benefits, ECCE still remains a low priority in marginalized communities and low-income groups. Now, on this, a Trailblazer edition of Dadas Show, we will be joined by an organization like no other. An organization that saw a gap in childcare and took it upon itself to provide access to affordable and quality early childhood care and education. What organization am I talking about? You'll have to wait and see. Now, remember to always get in touch with us and give us your feedback, your opinions, and this and any other episode that we may have at KBC Channel 1 across all platforms. You can also reach me directly at Ashiko, the host, across all social media platforms. You can also reach out to us on Facebook at Dadas KBC. We look forward to hearing your questions on this and any other topic that we may have on the show, your feedback, suggestions on what we should air and what we should cover. Now, before we get an opportunity to meet our Trailblazer organization of the day, let's take a look at the following feature.
Early childhood care and education are rapidly growing in Kenya with increasing attention to the children, mothers, and caregivers. There are many daycare centers and early childhood education facilities that cater to children of different ages. With increasing female workforce participation, demand for childcare is high, but quality options are limited, leaving many parents with few choices. For mothers across the world, their desire is to fend for their families while simultaneously nursing their children. However, these may sometimes prove difficult as childcare may be difficult to find or quite expensive. In some areas like Nairobi, they have regulation regarding daycare centers. Enforcement and implementation remain weak, with a significant need for improved quality and accessibility across the country. In some areas like Nairobi, they have legislation regarding daycare centers. Enforcement and implementation remain weak, with a significant need for improved quality and accessibility across the country. The quality and structure of daycare centers can vary, but generally, they offer services for infants, toddlers, and preschoolers. Initiatives like Kidogo are working to address the gap by providing training and support to home-based caregivers, creating a network of more regulated and quality childcare options. There are two types of daycares: home-based daycares managed by individuals or families in residential areas and provide a more intimate and personalized environment. Institution daycares are larger, offering structured programs including preschool education, meals, and sometimes extracurricular activities. In general, urban areas have higher costs and more premium centers may charge more for better facilities or additional services. With an estimate of 2,700 daycare centers in Nairobi, it is always good to visit a few places, talk to the staff, and check reviews from other parents before deciding where to take your child. For Dadas Show, my name is Miriam Odanga.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the Trailblazer edition of Dadas Show, where we take time to celebrate and acknowledge individuals or organizations that are doing it big, not only for themselves, but for the community. As mentioned before the feature, we are going to look at an organization like no other, an organization that saw a gap in childcare and decided to step in and offer solutions that were needed. This is none other than Kidogo. Now, I am joined by members of this particular organization who will give us an opportunity to get an in-depth look at what is Kidogo, what does it stand for, why Kidogo, and what was the inspiration behind the formation of this organization. So joining me, let's welcome my wonderful panel. Right next to me, I have Madam Susan Mtana, who is the Associate Director of Policy and Partnerships. Karibu sana, Susan.
Thank you so much.
We are so happy to have you here. Next, we have Madam Tabitha Ongudi, who is the Franchise Manager at Kidogo. Karibu sana, Tabitha.
Thank you, thank you.
And finally, we have Mamapreneur, a term that they coined, and they'll tell us more about what this term means. And we have Madam Eunice Mgeni. Karibu sana, Eunice, and we are honored to have you here. Of course, I cannot fail to acknowledge my wonderful viewers at home who take time to tune into Dadas Show each and every Sunday as we discuss contentious issues that affect Kenyan women, within our borders. I also want to acknowledge my wonderful, wonderful audience who take time to actually sit with me. They are my co-hosts as we discuss issues, as we find solutions to the never-ending problems that are faced by people within our borders. Now, to start us off, I'd like each and every one of you to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do at Kidogo. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much. My name is Susan Mtana, the Associate Director of Policy and Partnerships. I've been with Kidogo for the last 6 years, and my work entails, we are looking at knowing the pair at scale, because childcare is a bit expensive and we can't really rely on maybe donor funding. So we're looking at who is this person who will come in to help pay at scale. Is it the government? And how best can we set the enabling environment for that? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Susan, for that. Karibu Tabitha, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Tabitha Ongudi. I am the franchising manager at Kidogo, and we use an innovative franchising model in working with the childcare practitioners in the communities. Mm-hmm. And so I look after the team that goes out into the communities to find these childcare facilities and train them, then bring them on board as franchisees in Kidogo.
Oh, wow, excellent. What about you, Eunice? Karibu sana. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name's Eunice Mgeni from Kangemi community. I'm one of the mamapreneurs at Kidogo. I take care of the children from 6 months to below 4 years. You are much welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to hearing more about Kidogo. Now, we've already talked about franchising. We've talked about, policies and all of that. But let's go back to the basics. Why Kidogo? Why the name? Why the term Kidogo? Kidogo in Swahili, I mean, majority of us know that means small. So why Kidogo? Why did you pick that name? And what was the inspiration behind the formation of this wonderful organization?
Yeah, thank you so much. Kidogo means small, and we say great things start small. So chanzo cha makubwa ni kidogo, meaning great things start small. So over 10 years ago, our co-founder went to Mlolongo. She was doing a research, and she went into a room whereby it was so dark, children were just lying unattended to. The environment was not safety, it was not safe, it was not stimulating. And she asked, what is this? Then she was told, this is a childcare service whereby parents leave their children there when they go to work. Because in the low-income communities, it's either they pull an older sibling from school to look after the younger one, or take them to an informal baby care like the one she saw, or either to lock the baby and go out of their way to fend for themselves. So she asked if people can pay $1 a day for this. How might we, as Kidogo now, offer quality and affordable childcare service at $1 a day. And that is how Kidogo was born. And as we know, based on statistics, we say over 350 million children globally lack access to quality childcare. That is including Kenya. Yeah.
And you're right about that, because I think even growing up, especially if we're looking at low-income houses, if the childcare and daycare is something that is considered a luxury, you know, getting a nanny. So what you do, like what you said, rightfully so, you pull a child from school so that they can take care of your brother mdogo, dada mdogo, someone is going to be pulled out. So it is low priority in some, because it is not prioritized in the list of all the other needs that they have. So what are some of the, you know, because for something like this, you definitely cannot be able to do it alone. Tabitha, what are some of the organizations that you work with? Because this one, of course, this looks like one of those endeavors that require, you know, a multi-industry approach, you know, for it to be a success. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ashiko. It's true, childcare needs a lot of multi-sectorial partnership for you to execute this work. And so as Kidogo, our first and partners are the mamapreneurs. And who are the mamapreneurs? These are the mamas and the men who are taking care of children in the informal settlements. That's our target. And so to help us provide quality childcare to these children, we also work with other organizations that are like-minded in terms of they want to give the best start for the children who are 1,000 days and below, because we know that the first 1,000 days of a child are critical for their growth. And so we look also at government. We can do this work on our own. We need the government to pull in right policies that can allow mamapreneurs to run their businesses and allow these children to hit their milestones as it's supposed to. And also we look at funders, the ECD funders, who come together and look at the work that we are doing, and they give the money to ensure that no child is left behind in their first 1,000 days.
That's really, really something. And we really hope that, you know, if people are watching and they're thinking, this is such a wonderful cause, like I said, the first of its kind, guys. So this is a wonderful cause. Let's actually pipe in. Now, over to you, Eunice, which I think at this particular point, it's very good to hear from the horse's mouth, straight from you. What are some of the challenges? Ni nini mulikuwa munapitia huko Kangemi, which prompted you to join Kidogo, and how has Kidogo helped na hizi challenges mulikuwa munapitia?
Asante sana kwa hilo swali, ni swali nzuri. Nitaanza na kusema ya kwamba Kidogo wamefanya makubwa, jinsi ambavyo hiyo inasema kwamba chanzo cha makubwa ni Kidogo. Because hapo mwanzo tulikuwa na hiyo myth ya Africans ya kwamba an African child has to be pinched, has to be beaten up, ndio sasa ajue apate adabu. But now when Kidogo came in, tulifunzwa positive discipline, whereby when the child does wrong, we call the child, we sit on the same level, we talk, and then hiyo kitu inaingia ndani mwake, anajua nimefanya hii, nimejielewa, sasa nafaa nifuate the right track. Then another thing, Kidogo came in with the lishe bora. Lishe bora whereby before tulikuwa na ile mzazi analeta chakula.
Analeta ile chakula
ataleta ile imelala, tini ni chafu. Unapata most of the time watoto wanahara, ugonjwa ni mingi. But now when Kidogo came in, waliweza kutufundisha about lishe bora. They also helped us to plan the menu, the balanced diet. So it has really helped us, and it has really changed the community, whereby tunakaa na watoto, they are healthy and they are organized. They know what they have to eat because of the menu. Pia wanafuata routine. Another thing what Kidogo has changed for us, nowadays hatufuati sana na kanjo. Mostly they are following up Tabita wanafuatilia sana mambo ya license. So when the community au wakitembea, nitoe ile certificate zangu nimesoma under Kidogo, wanajua niko under Kidogo, wata pull back. Wakijua Amanda Kidogo. It has really helped us. It has really changed our lives. Another thing is a safe environment for the children. Vile Susan alisema, kitambo ilikuwa mtoto mlete, alale akule, utamchange jioni ukijua mama yake anakaribia kukuja. But now since kidogo walitufundisha, tunajua vitu mingi jinsi ambavyo ya kuweka huyu mtoto akuwe healthy and active. We involve them in many things. The environment is safe, is clean through the trainings we are getting from kidogo. Then also another thing that I cannot forget, they learn through play. We call it kidogo way, whereby I involve this child through play. They learn a lot through play. When you come at my center, you will find out that most of the time I'm just down there with them.
You're playing with
tunaruka kamba, tunacheza kalongo, mimi nitaitwa shosho, mwingine aitwe mam, hivyo na siku inaisha, and you find the job is enjoyable na inafurahisha.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we need to give a round of applause to Eunice. Wow, I'm completely mind blown. That was wonderful. That was well executed. And I'm so happy. And you know, I'm thinking for 10 years, the fact how many people actually get to know Kidogo, how many people there are so many opportunities out there and people are missing out on that. What are some of the challenges that you have faced? Because we've heard of the good things. Eunice is definitely a brand ambassador. You need to give that woman a pay raise. Eunice needs to get a pay raise. You know, but what are some of the challenges that you have faced in regards to childcare? You know, what is, you know, especially as a company?
Okay, let me take it from a systemic perspective. So first of all, you find childcare. Most people know ECD. And you even go, for example, to the counties, they tell you, like, we're already building ECD schools, we are having the infrastructure, but you're like, we are talking about the child who is 0 to 4 years. Then they'll tell you, like, the child belongs to the mother, so ni mtoto wa mama huyo. But there is the fact that this child will be left somewhere in a daycare, mostly in an informal daycare. So the first thing we've had is just creating sensitization to the officials of the government, showing them like this problem exists, because mostly we look at the school going age is 4 years and above. But this one we are like, okay, some of the children don't even maybe complete the immunization records, but they're in the daycare. So through the community health promoters, we have to reach them. So the first thing has been sensitizing the government about the 0 to 3 gap in the communities. And the other bit, I'll say the bigger one that is still the bigger one is about funding. Even when you look at basic education, childcare is not there. You look at the 0 to 3 years, you'll be told, go to the health records, it's under health. So childcare is not domiciled in any ministry. It's a cross-coordination between education, between health, between social services, because the issues of child protection. So the first thing is, if you want to hold somebody accountable, whom do you hold accountable? Yeah, and if you want a budget, you want a budget allocation from maybe the county budget or the national budget, whom do you go to? So you find like there has been gaps, and also in terms of the regulations, Eunice can attest, you'll find like maybe the charges given for the annual licensing, the permit and everything is so much for them. And now as Kidogo, now we have to sit down and tell the government, can we come up with fairer regulations that can also cut across both the high end and the low income communities, that they could be inclusive in a way that they don't put the mamapreneur out of business, but they create an enabling environment for the mamapreneurs to thrive. And also there's the quest of, can we have supportive supervision? As we know, Kanjos, when they come, it is about closing your business because you do not have this, you do not have this. So there is the awareness that we're trying to do, both at the county and the national level.
Wow. I mean, seriously, and I definitely do wish you all the best in that. So now we've looked at some of the challenges, but I'm sure, and I can already attest, you don't even have to tell me, what are some of the milestones that Kidogo has celebrated, you know, throughout actually since its inception?
Just the other day we turned 10 years, and that's a big milestone for us. You know, giving children a best start in life. And I want to highlight that during these 10 years we've been able to reach about 2,000 mamapreneur who have been trained and equipped to be best caregivers in the country. We've been able to spread wings into 12 counties already, out of 47 possible counties. And we are looking at, for the 10 years, we have served 56,000 children.
Oh, round of applause.
That is huge.
Oh, that's a huge number. All in low-income areas.
All in urban low-income areas.
Wow.
And just to add to that, my colleague Susan mentioned about systems change. So as Kidogo, we are celebrating that we've been able to start, technical working groups in counties where we are coordinating all these pieces of, childcare is in education, it is in gender and social services, it is in health. And so we've created this system where all these parties can come and talk matters children, matters ECDE. And that's a very big milestone for us. The other one is that we've been able to reach out to TVETs, and just start up daycares in those TVETs, so that the young girls who have dropped out of school can be able to come to the TVETs, receive a skill, and be able to be entrepreneurs, and fend for their children. And so that's a big milestone for us as Kidogo.
Yeah.
Not forgetting that we are the first childcare organization to actually set up a breastfeeding station in a marketplace.
You've worked with NITA and other partners in terms of coming up with the Caregiver 3 curriculum, whereby it is yet to be piloted, it has already been validated, so that if we have potential mamapreneurs, the way you can go and do a plumbing course, a NITA accredited course, you can go do a caregiving course in a TVET and then get a certificate. So we are professionalizing the sector.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that. And now when we are talking about potential mamapreneurs, Eunice, kuna wamama saizi mwanamke na kuona na kuangalia naona by the way umeweza kujimudi na kile Kidogo has provided for you. What piece of advice do you have for anybody who's watching you saizi pengine angetaka kufanya caregiving, akona nafasi angetaka kufungua daycare? What is the process? Process ilikuwa gani ndio ujipate huko Kidogo, na advice gani unaweza, mawaidha gani unaweza wapatia tafadhali?
Mimi kile ninaweza anza nayo ni kuambia ya kwamba hii ni kazi nzuri, ni kazi inalipa, ni kazi pia inatupea manufaa kuona watoto wetu wakigrow kwa njia ambayo inafaa. Then yule ambaye anataka kufungua daycare, nataka nimpe moyo ya kwamba sio ngumu. Bora atafute pale ambapo tuko, pale ambapo Kidogo tupo. Aje tumwambie jinsi ya kuanza, jinsi ya kuset up daycare yake, na jinsi ya hayo mafundisho inafuatwa jinsi ya kufanya. Ama kama akonayo, atafute tu hiyo link ya Kidogo, atapata vile anajiunga nayo na atafaulu. Kwa sababu ni mahali ambapo tumejifunza mengi, ni mahali ambapo imetusaidia kusimama kama wamama, imetuempower sisi kama wamama. Tunajifunia hiyo kazi ya kulea watoto. Manake ni kazi nzuri sana. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Eunice. Just before we take a quick break, there's so many things that we've talked about, accomplishments and the things that, where you'd want to go. Before we go there, how can the government intervene to at least, so that we can even have more Kidogos, so that, early childhood care is prioritized? How can government intervene to make life a little bit more easier for you guys?
Okay, thank you. You see the way there is a free primary education, kuna ile malipo ya wazee. So why can't we have some subsidy for childcare also? So if government can take that as a priority, it will help, because we are saying the first 1,000 days of a child are most important.
Very crucial,
and
yes.
Also if we can come up with, regulations that are supporting the mamapreneurs, and see this as an upcoming sector that just we need the government to handhold us. Yeah, that will be helpful. The policies zikuwe fair to every Kenyan, and that the government can also fund that sector.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I hope the powers that be are tuning into this episode of Dadas Show and can definitely lend a helping hand to this absolutely worthy cause. And I can't believe it's taken us this long until we actually sat down and had a conversation on early childhood care. Because I think, like you're saying, the stereotype definitely has to be changed, where you think below the age of the 4 years, you're in responsibility ya mama, mwanamke. But yet you're finding children joining the school system and they have they've got no social skills. They have poor nutrition. So I believe the school going age the preschool going age is as important, if not more, than the school-going age. Now, what's the way forward for Kidogo, Tabitha?
So Kidogo is looking to expanding in terms of, we want to reach out to many mamapreneurs. By 2030, we have a goal of reaching to 50,000 mamapreneurs.
Yeah.
And in translation, we believe we will be touching the lives of 1 million children.
Yes.
And I believe that is good enough to change the whole system.
Yeah, the very people are excited, very excited, and they're saying, go for it, Kidogo. That's fantastic. So we are going to take a very short break. I hope you are as impressed and as amazed by our trailblazer of the day. And you're definitely Googling, what is Kidogo? How can you assist? What can we do? And how can we join in the cause to providing quality early childhood care and education for our young citizens in the country. So let's take a small break and then we'll be back for the question and answer session. Don't go far away. Welcome back to my favorite part of Dadas Show, which is the question and answer session. This is an opportunity for my wonderful interactive audience to interact with my panel. So even you at home can actually interact with us on all our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1. You can also reach me directly at Ashiko, the host, or reach to us on our Facebook page at Dadas KBC. So to start us off on this question and answer session, we have Sharon. Sharon, karibu sana.
So my question goes to Eunice. Like when you started your daycare, if you look at the transformation as when you started your daycare and now that you are working with Kidogo, when you are running your business, are you making any profit?
Thank you so much for the question. Let me start by saying that the transformation is positive because since I joined Kidogo, I have been trained in the techniques of about business 102 and 101. By the end of the month, I have my own income where the expenses are there. I do my bulk budgeting and even each and every day budgeting, I do it from my tracking system. Then from there, I have when it comes to end month, I pay myself. I also have my table banking, whereby I have joined chamas where I keep my money. When it comes to the end of the year, I know that I'm going to do something greater out of my business. Yeah, so I'm making a profit.
That's excellent. And I know very many people at home would definitely want to know, do I stand to make a profit? Yes, I have a daycare. Yes, I have the know-how. Let's even say that we're dealing with people who are skilled. But what is the value add of partnering with Kidogo? Tabitha, I'd want you to pick that one up.
Awesome. Yes, once you join Kidogo as a daycare owner, we take you through a quality improvement program. This is where we will train you. You had Eunice mention about Business 101. These are basic skills in entrepreneurship to ensure that are you having your policy in place as a daycare and are you able to track who has paid, who has not paid? Because for you to actually make profits, you must have a right pricing point. So that is something we take our caregivers through. We train them also in confidence and personality. We take them through first aid training, very important for any caregiver to have the skills where they are able to help a child whenever that, an emergency occurs.
True.
Yes, and we also are able to train our mamapreneurs on health, nutrition, and wash. And what do I mean by this? The hand washing steps. Clean drinking water. Where do they get it? How do they make sure that their environment is clean? What kind of food are they giving to the children? Is it nutritious food? It doesn't have to be very expensive. We actually teach them how to prepare omena.
Oh, wow.
It's very nutritious for the children, and their bones and the iron and all that.
Yeah.
And so we go beyond just making money and all that. We get down to how do you interact with a parent. So we have we have a training that we are training them on parental engagement tactics. How do you talk to your parents? How do you market yourself outside there? You will not make a profit if you do not have children. So how do you get these children? So those are just some of the trainings that we give these mamapreneurs, and it adds a lot of value.
Absolutely.
In what they are doing.
In what they are doing.
Not forgetting the newest training we introduced in collaboration with the nutritionist, county nutritionist. This is the mid-upper arm circumference training. We call it the MWAC training, where they have the family MWAC tape, and they are able to detect if a child is wasting, and hence they can use the community health promoters to refer these children so that they are able to receive intervention from the county nutritionists. Yes.
Oh, wow. I mean, definitely, if you were asking why would I want to partner, why would I want to look, what kind of value addition, then definitely that is really well put, Tabitha. Thank you so much. Our next question of the day is from Vivian. Vivian, karibu sana.
Actually, Kidogo is really doing a good job. My question goes to Tabitha. I would love to know about, you've said that in 2030, you have a goal of reaching 1 million children. So what are some of the strategies that Kidogo is putting in place so that you can reach that goal? Thank you.
Great question, Vivian. As I had mentioned earlier, that Kidogo works in partnership with the government. And so we are looking into incorporating the community health promoters. These are people from the communities. They know where these daycares are. They know where the children are being taken care of. So we are looking into strengthening our partnership with these community health promoters so that they can go out and find out daycares for us in these communities. Then as Kidogo, we come in and train the mamapreneurs in big numbers. So I believe when we go out with these community health promoters, we'll be able to catch many of these mamapreneurs at any given time and train them to make sure that they are empowered. And at the end of the day, you can see how that number will be achieved.
Of course. I mean, I agree with you. Charity does begin at home. And I think through your collaborations, then I definitely see a very high possibility of being able to get to that numbers, being able to get to the community leaders and touching base with them and showing the value that Kidogo actually presents to the community, especially to the children. You'll do that number easily, and Dadas Show will be very proud to be there to toast to your success. So, Vivian, I hope your question was answered. Our next question for the day is from Patricia.
Eunice, umesema kwamba wazazi wanaleta watoto kwa daycare yako kwa maana baadhi ya huduma ambazo unatoa ni lishe bora. Je, Kidogo kuna chochote ambacho wanakupatia kusupport hiyo lishe bora? Alafu swali la pili, kwa sababu yako ni biashara, je, kuna hiyo aspect ya lishe bora ni kitu inasaidia kuleta wateja kwako ukilinganisha na wale washindani wako wengine? Asante.
Asante sana. Wacha nianze na upande wa wateja. Kwa sababu ya hiyo lishe bora imekuwa njia moja sana ya kuleta wateja kwenye kazi yangu. Kwa sababu mzazi anapotoka mahali pale anasema usihangaike na kupika wala kufanya nini, kwa Eunice kuna uji, kuna lunch, ana provide ndizi, chakula iko sawa. So imenipa sana kujulikana hapa nje na kuniletea watoto kwa wingi. Alafu jambo lingine nataka kusema ya kwamba Kidogo hawatusapoti kununua hiyo chakula, lakini kile wanatusaidia ni kutufundisha jinsi ambavyo tunaweza tumia ile tulio nayo kupata hiyo chakula. Kwa mfano kutupa hayo mafunzo, jinsi ya unaweza panga bajeti yako, jinsi ambavyo unaweza plan na ile pesa uko nayo ili ukafikie chakula ambao watoto hawa wanafaa kupata iliyo na madini bora. Kwa mfano wanatufundisha jinsi ambavyo ya kupata the local available food. Kama kwa mfano kesho ni Tuesday, mimi ninajua ya kwamba ninapika omena na ugali na kuna kabeji pale. Hiyo balanced diet iko sawa na haijakosti pesa mingi. Sasa hivyo ndivyo Kidogo wanatusaidia jinsi ambavyo tunafanya kazi yetu kulingana na lishe bora. Yeah.
Wow. I think it's the whole case of teach a man to fish. Because I think at the end of the day, if most organizations are depending, if it's a daycare, I think you already have to have put mechanisms in place of how you're going to provide food, if that is one of the added advantages of boarding the children there. So thank you so much, Kidogo, for actually teaching people and even making them innovative. Because if what is locally sourced is pumpkin and this, you're trying out new recipes, and these children are the ones who are set to benefit. So thank you so much. I hope your question was answered, Patricia. Our next question is from Mr. Daniel.
My question goes out to Susan. I think caregiving seems to be a female-dominated industry. I was just asking, do you have male caregivers in the industry? And if they are there, do you support them also in your program?
That's a wonderful question. Even I'm curious to find out. Because traditionally speaking, childcare has always been relegated to women. But of course, the times are changing. And so the men we have stay-at-home men, we have stay-at-home dads. So the child care roles are getting reversed, they're getting refined. So if there is a papapreneur who is out there, would you, and has a daycare, would you support this kind of person?
Yes, we do support. And I'll say just like when somebody goes to college to learn, for example, ECD, it's not like a gender-based role, just that the community, we've stereotyped it for women. Yes. So yes, we have papapreneurs, and we are really glad to bring the inclusivity in terms of parenting. And they'll go through the training, just like the mamapreneur, and also just that maybe there are a few background checks we'll have to do, and also just to get the surety from the location where they're in, that it's a safe space. And the other bit I'll say, the other secondary role whereby the papapreneurs come in is whereby we have daycares. You find like a papapreneur, they have the capital to start the daycare, but they cannot run it by themselves. True. So they hire a caregiver. So all those are still our papapreneurs because they're still supporting the daycare business. Yes.
Wow. So if you are watching us from wherever you're watching us, remember that Kidogo is across the country. You said how many counties? 12? 12 out of the possible 47 counties within and you're feeling like this is a venture that you would want to take part in. You'd want to take part, you'd want to provide childcare. At the same time, you wouldn't mind, making a little bit of a buck at the end of the day. Then I definitely suggest that you approach Kidogo. So our next question of the day is from Cyril. Cyril, karibu sana.
Thank you so much, Oshiko, for inviting us for the show. And it's just great to see the lovely women who are doing really good job ensuring that, children in the low-income communities access care, and also that the working or the mothers really who are taking care of those children are dignified, and it's a profession that is appreciated by the country and also the society at large. So my question is, just acknowledging that you're serving over 2,000 children in the country. 2,000 mamapreneurs, as you said, Tabitha. I think that's quite a wide number of children being reached. Let's say each has around 20 children. We should be serving around 40,000 children around there. So my question is, what are you doing to, ensure that also those other centers, because I'm pretty sure there are so many childcare centers that are existing across the country. What are we doing to ensure that these centers which are not under the Kidogo network, of course, they're able to access this information, and that the parents who are having these children and cannot go to work. We see over 1.8 million parents cannot be able to engage in income generation because of childcare. So how do we ensure that this information or this training that we are giving to these mamapreneurs, these lovely women, also cascades down to the community? Just acknowledging the national positive parenting guidelines released, I think, by the former CS of Labor and Social Protection, CS Bore, as just moving together as a clique, part of the stakeholders that are supporting childcare. How do you ensure that this a good model, I believe it's a very good model, how does it reach the other caregivers? I think another question, just before I pass on the mic, is you've mentioned a number of trainings we've seen first aid, very important for emergency. These are children who are very active. They move all over around the place. They're stimulated, and we appreciate that. But how do we also ensure, I haven't heard you mention of probably we have children with special needs who come to these centers. How do you ensure that these caregivers are empowered to take care of these children and even the parents of these children at the center? Because, it would be good to give care at the center, but then what happens at the background at home? So, yeah, if you just respond to that, I think the country would be very glad to know as well. Thank you.
Okay, let me answer the first question. So we normally, as part of our model, we have parental and community engagement. So we normally organize, for example, if we are celebrating the World Nutrition Day, we will identify communities whereby we will go and invite, it's open to everyone. We bring them on, we teach them on maybe the basics of nutrition and such. So we use such platforms in terms of sharing knowledge on whatever topic that we are dealing with. And we normally work together with the county officials and the departments involved. And then the other bit, I'll say, we are doing bottom-up also. We are saying in every 10 daycare centers in a community, you'll find like maybe 3 belong to the Kidogo network. So once these 3 improve their quality, word goes around to the other 7, that there are 3 daycares that are stealing children from us, like they're in terms of competition. Positive competition. So these other 7s will be forced to try and improve their quality so that all the children don't just go to the 3 daycares, but even the 7. So by having these 3 Kidogo branded centers, it pushes the other non-Kidogo branded centers to improve their quality, and we affect the community at large. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, definitely. That's one model to use. Let's improve that so that we can make sure that everybody is on top of their game. And I think at the end of the day, it's for the kids and it ends up benefiting the kids in totality. Please take the second question here.
Thank you so much, Cyril, for that question. And indeed, we see, what we are seeing in the ecosystem right now is that a lot of children who live with disability have started coming to the daycares. And there's a topic that we teach our mamapreneurs on child growth and development. So these mamapreneurs are able to pick, signs at an early stage that could be leading towards a kind of a disability. And so together with the community health promoters, and Kidogo has health, nutrition, and wash staff who are trained and they get to visit these mamapreneurs. So that collaboration is, the word comes up to Kidogo. Our health and nutrition team will go down and look at this child. We'll try and engage more with the caregiver, who can then find more information from the parent. And through that referral, then we are able to refer them to the community health volunteers or promoters who will who will connect them to the disability officers who are attached in county hospitals. So what I'm trying to say is that this is an emerging issue. And as Kidogo, we have empowered our mamapreneurs, and we continue to do that. We are looking into a future where we can closely collaborate even with the KISE, so that they can come on ground and strengthen the knowledge that we're giving to the mamapreneurs, so that they are able to pass it down to their parents. And at the end of the day, every child's life gets to be impacted.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Excellent. That's really, I really appreciate the intersector, multi-industry, very three-pronged or 10-pronged approach that Kidogo has, which involves everybody, which of course is opportunities for everybody of employment, of knowledge, and of course in turn then the whole society definitely benefits. So once again, we are definitely proud to have you as our trailblazer of the day. So our final question of this session is from Agatha. Agatha, karibu sana.
Thank you so much. I'm excited about what Kidogo is doing. Keep it up. My question is, how can one locate the daycares that are under Kidogo? Because I know childcare has been an issue, and it's still an issue to those that do not know about Kidogo. But I know someone is watching out there and would like to know, how do I locate this daycare? Thank you.
Yes. So let's have Madam Franchise pick it up. How do we locate you? Somebody has witnessed and said, you know what, I want my child to be there. This looks like a very good place where my child is going to develop and be able to hit the milestones when she or he should.
Thank you so much for that question. If you want to know where Kidogo daycares are located, as I had mentioned earlier, we are in 12 counties in Kenya. I would mention just a few. We have Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, Nakuru, and Uasin Gishu County. We also have a website where you can check it out. You'll get to see where exactly, which counties are we in. However, should you be in these communities where Kidogo is, all our daycares are well branded. So this is another value add for mamapreneurs, where we get to brand them and give them a signage that shows, for example, this is Mama Eunice Daycare, and you'll see the Kidogo logo on it. Then you are sure that you are getting into a quality daycare. Yeah.
Wow, wonderful. Well, I think I'm completely mind blown. I don't think there's anything else we can add on to that. But I would want you to give a parting shot to mothers who are out there, you know, to people who are, you know, who want to get into areas that they have not ever tried before, to the government. So we'll get a parting shot from each and every one of you in regards to the importance of early childhood care and education. We'll start off with you.
Thank you. So I'll say, let's not wait until the kids are all grown to give them bursaries. Let's invest in early years. Thank you.
Oh, I like that. Let's not wait for the kids until the kids are old to give them bursaries. Let's invest in their early years. What about you?
My parting shot is they are quality child care daycares all around us. We only have to look and find a Kidogo daycare.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then finally, Eunice, mawaidha gani, what would you like to put out there in terms of kutunza watoto?
My parting shot is that foundation mzuri inaanza kwa rika ile ndogo. Kwa hivyo wacha tuegeze kwa hao watoto wadogo, manake tutaweka kwa msingi ulio bora. Yeah.
Wow. That's excellent. So we have come to the end of today's exhilarating and very insightful episode of Dadas Show. I hope you have been able to learn a thing or two. Remember, the Trailblazer edition seeks to always acknowledge and celebrate formidable people and organizations that are doing so much. For instance, Kidogo, that is going out of their way to improve the access to affordable and quality early childhood care. This is something that has been a thorn in all of our flesh because we have been looking for the best place for children to actually be able to thrive from the ages of 0 to 4 years. So if you have been able to benefit from the conversation today and you would like to nominate someone who you feel is actually a trailblazer or an organization that is the first of its kind, just like Kidogo, we are definitely open. Reach out to us across all social media platforms at KBC Channel 1. You can reach me directly at Ashiko the host, and on Facebook you can reach us at Dadas KBC. So on behalf of the production team at KBC, myself Ashiko Mbune, I wish you all an educated and informative, insightful week, and we will catch you same time, same place on Dadas Show. Until then, bye for now.